This man crashed out, and I'm going to have a string of news clips so you know why.
For 2.5 minutes, Mesa police say DeAndre Johnson was choking a DCS employee, restricting blood flow to the caseworker's brain. In a live stream of the attack, Johnson appears to say, "He's still breathing. I didn't make my point." The employee was working on a case involving Johnson's daughter. At one point, the two discuss whether Johnson's children have been physically abused or neglected. Then, after the two are done talking for an hour, Johnson is seen attacking the employee. DCS Deputy Director David Lujan calls the video traumatizing. What have you heard from your staff?
They're scared. They're seeing it. They're hearing about it.
He says this attack underscores how difficult a caseworker's job can be.
One day before this violent assault, Johnson took to Facebook to express his frustration over the very same caseworker approaching his daughter at her school.
You damn right I'm mad. You damn right I'm mad. How much more information you need? Somebody that didn't work at the school took a 9-year-old girl into a room and there ain't no video or audio recording. What more information you need? You don't know right from wrong?
This violent attack raising questions about security for DCS employees. Earlier this year, citing budget cuts, DCS cut ties with a security company which provided guards to protect caseworkers during visits at a Phoenix field office, leaving some employees questioning the department's priorities. It now faces an attempted first-degree murder charge, in addition to 2 counts of aggravated assault and unlawful flight from police.
Anybody else think it's okay to take little girls in the room?
The moment you took my daughter in that room and you couldn't tell me, you couldn't show me a fucking video or no motherfucking. This is for any motherfucking worker that think that they finna motherfucking put my daughter in a motherfucking room and think they ain't gotta talk to me. You was a damn it.
According to the police report, a week before the attack, the suspect told the caseworker, "I came here to kill you. You're lucky my daughter vouched for you." Former DCS Director Matthew Stewart says that should have raised alarms.
They don't have tasers. They don't have handcuffs.
Now listen, if you are struggling to find the actual footage, you're not going to find it on YouTube. I'm going to have a Twitter link in, pinned comment. But what you were seeing on the screen are a lot of the dumb comments that compelled me to make this video. Because I seen it, and it was crazy when I seen it, but I didn't plan on making a video. But then after I looked into it and watched some of the articles and read some of the comments, I was like, yeah, I could really comment on this. It's very simple when it comes to this. I know some guys are trying to make like men's rights issues and stuff out of it. And some people are even trying to make it seem like he did something or there has to be more to it as far as what the guy did. This is the thing. If there was more to it, he would have said it while he was choking him. If there was more to it, he would have said it during the meeting. If there was more to it, he would have said it on the internet. What he was upset about is that, and also remember that he said that his daughter vouched for the man. Also remember that this happened in a school, but there's something else you need to remember that I'm going to remind you of in a moment. But what he said was that the man went to the school and took his daughter into a room and questioned her, but there was no video footage of what happened, and there were no other adults in the room, and he does not work for the school. That is where his discrepancy is. Now, let's just get this out the way before we get into the meat and potatoes. One of the things that people are trying to do with there has to be more to this, and that's why you don't with a child, and like, what they are trying to do, they're trying to paint a picture like the child services, the DCS worker is a predator. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to paint a picture or at least allude to it or make it seem like there's some possibility that the guy is a predator. Again, this guy choked him out. If the guy had touched her in any type of way, this guy would have said it while he was choking him out. So that's the first thing. Let's just get this out the way. But the second thing, when we talk about guys and women trying to turn this into a pervert situation, as far as a DCS worker, remember when I told you there's something else that you need to remember? DCS stands for Department of Child Services. Their whole purpose is to protect children. That is their whole purpose. Their purpose is to, bruh, do you think that a guy is going to fabricate a case to go and do something weird to a little girl in school? I don't think that's what's going on, especially when there are a bunch of other people involved with these situations and there's paperwork. And guess what? There was a confidentiality report that led to him doing this. And the whole thing about confidentiality is if I see you throwing your kid out the window every day and the kid is going to school or whatever with bruises, nobody know why. He telling them, man, he just be, jumping off the porch into the bushes and stuff like that. And then me caring for the kid's safety, I go to child services and say, hey, this guy is throwing his son or daughter out of the window every day and nobody is doing anything about it. What I need y'all to do is save that kid. Because if he keeps throwing the kid out the window, the kid is going to die. And guess what? I'm not an idiot. And I'm not going to go over there guns blazing trying to save the kid or nothing like that and end up in jail like this guy. No, you go to Child Protective Services or the Department of Child Services, in this case, DCS, this is Arizona, and their whole job systemically with other people involved, with approvals involved and all this stuff and people overseeing the paperwork and et cetera, people have to report to other people and all that. Their jobs are to protect the children. Now, I'm sure you can go and find, because guys love to rebuttal just anything that you say, no matter how logical it is. But I'm sure you can go and find somebody who has worked for Child Protective Services for DCS before, who was assaulting kids and things like that. I'm sure that there are going to be some outliers. But guess what? When we look at groups of people who molest kids and things of that nature, you could think of another demographic that feels like, kind of a professional position that I'm not going to name, that is known for that. And guess what? It's not CPS workers. That's not what it is. Their whole role is to protect children. So to just try and draw that assumption up, especially when the guy who said the day before that he was going to kill him, and he got on live the day before, or he said that a week ago, but he got on live and said, yo, they talking to my kid unsupervised in a room. And then when he was choking him out, he said they were talking to my kid unsupervised in a room. He's choking him out based on his explanation over a private conversation that he feels shouldn't have happened. That's why he is choking him out. But if we're being honest, he's also choking him out because he's not getting the information he wants. And also because he's a fucking nut. I'm not sure if I included it in the video. He had an assault that he actually got convicted for, aggravated assault in 2017. He knocked the dude out, stomped his head, all types of stuff. So dude is a nut. Now the other thing that I'm gonna just get out the way very quickly as well is a whole like this is about men's rights. No the fuck it's not. No the fuck it's not. Because at the end of the day, you might have family court going on. That's more about men's rights. A mother, bruh, I know women who have had their child or their children taken away from them. I know women who have had their children taken away from them. So let's not just, men's rights and parental rights. Like, no. If you are an unfit parent, there needs to be a system to keep you from abusing your kid or neglecting your kid. Period, point blank. And you getting upset at the process, I can understand if you weren't doing anything, but let's go to another point. This kind of validates that he's not fit to be a parent. I don't know what's going on in that household. We have no idea because everything is confidential. I'm not going to question anything because we don't know anything about him and his daughter and their relationship or what this case is about. But the one thing I do know is him as a person, he has an assault charge back then. And if the dude was a stranger that he beat up and stuff like that, who knows what type of altercation they had. But for you to tell somebody 2 weeks ago that you're going to kill him, and then you try to go up here and you have a calm conversation with them and you like telling them don't be afraid and stuff like that, you know. You're a public figure, don't be afraid. I could introduce you on live, all this stuff. In the moment his back turns, you put him in a headlock and you really try to take him out the game. If you were that nutty to do that and your daughter didn't say anything, listen, I would be all for it if his daughter said that he touched her inappropriately, he said something crazy to her, or he treated her bad. I would be all for it if any of those were the things that were said. None of those things were said while he was doing what you see him doing on his screen. While he was making that face when his eyes were bloodshot red. None of those things are the case. None of those things are what he said. He's upset about a conversation and he thought killing the dude was the appropriate thing to do. Now, when you think about that, don't you think it kind of validates the concern to some degree, in my opinion? But that's just me. The other thing I want to talk about very quickly is how do you, the timing is just perfect or just horrible for the guy, but it's like y'all got rid of security a week before. Like, I get everything be chill and stuff like that, but let me tell you, bro, I'm gonna give you, like, I don't care how fucking silly and off the chain it sound, but I done seen in the club the day that they fired security, somebody was shooting inside the club. Nobody got hit or nothing. Just want to make that clear. But the day they fired security at a club that I used to frequent a long time ago, somebody was shooting in the club. When you have a job like this where you are supposed to protect people from abusers and stuff like that, what makes you think that some of these people don't have violent tendencies? What makes you think that everybody is just inherently safe dealing with all of these people? And this is the thing as well. If you go and watch the video, bruh, somebody was walking out the door as this guy was beginning to choke him. He looked over his shoulder while he was walking and then just kept casually walking. Wasn't even alarmed, didn't pick up his phone or nothing. The guy's getting choked in the lobby. We don't know what the other side of the lobby looks like and who's there, but the guy isn't yelling. He's not shouting help. He's not even trying to get the dude's arms off of his neck. He's shocked because it just happened he didn't expect that at all. He just dapped the dude up. He thought everything was good. He didn't know dude was a complete nut. When they telling him like, bruh, the people who were there, you could tell that they were not only unarmed, but they were completely incapable of doing anything to stop that. They didn't even have, excited tones. They just put them down. Put them down like it was normal. They just weren't sounding urgent enough for me. But the thing about it is, they were probably terrified and they know they could have been next at the end of the day. And guess what? Nobody was there to stop anything from happening to any of them. So as far as the people who were in charge of making sure the security is there, boy, they dropped the ball so bad. And even then, I'm not gonna lie, it depends on what you got going on as far as like what type of security you booking. Is it armed security? And even then, as you getting like them old man security that's just there for the look and the only thing they can do is call the police, or are you getting dudes that's going like, be able to tumble with a guy like the guy you see on the screen biting his mouth? Listen, I usually have lessons at the end of these videos for any of my dudes and stuff like that. I really don't got none that are solid. The only thing I say is, bruh, if you are in the process of getting a career, don't let it be this shit. Don't let it be this shit. Because you see how that could go. And if you're not packing a glizzy, and if you're not motherfucking in the MMA gym and stuff like that, and you just like, yeah, this is not for you. It's just not gonna work out because, yeah, 99% of the time shit'll go smooth, but you might have somebody who will just think about it. Who will just think about it. But if you get really unlucky, you will have a motherfucker like this who will actually do it. Who will actually do it. And are you prepared for that? So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Actually, I'm probably going to drop 2 vids today, man. But listen, put a like on the vid. I'll catch y'all, man.